So
Swagat.
I'm gonna ask you guys all a question. I saw this on an Instagram reel and I was like pretty intrigued what I would do. Maybe I'm cheating a bit because I got a little bit more time to think about this, but I'll start with you, Rochak. If you had to pick 2 footballers to dine with, who would they be?
Okay.
And what sort of questions would you ask? It can't be like really basic, like they say I met Ronaldo, I would be like, how are you, the GOAT and all that. Like
Yeah,
it should be something
So-
like really, something interesting in a way.
Yeah. So if do you guys remember Eric Cantona's speech last year when
Oh,
the
in-
CL draws were happening?
Oh, yeah,
So
that
definitely
some-
Eric Cantona first one.
What
I
you
would
would ask him,
converse with him about like his life philosophy
Yes.
and whatever.
Yeah.
And the second one would be Roy Keane, right? And I would talk to him about like aggression in football and why the game's gone, so to say. Right? I think those would be 2. It's like both of them are of course United legends as well. So yeah, definitely those.
Where would you take them for dinner?
I would take them to I would take them to a shady bar, right? So
Okay.
the kind of shady bars that we visit.
Yeah.
Locations not disclosed. But yeah.
But that bar has to have a good stout beer for Kino
Yeah.
because of his Irish roots.
And
Or Jameson, definitely.
yeah.
Irish whiskies and
A good wine.
Cantona would want a good wine.
Yeah. A good probably red wine.
Yeah, so Apurva bar is out of the question.
Maybe a little upscale, but definitely that shady bar settings where
Yeah.
real conversations can happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tushar, what about you?
I think I would take Neymar Jr. first.
Okay.
उसका रीज़न बताता हूँ. उसका रीज़न ये, मैं उससे पहला सवाल तो यही पूछूंगा, पहला एकमात्र सवाल कि भाई अपने बहन के बर्थडे के आसपास जो इंजर्ड होता है वो जेन्युइन है कि नहीं, वो चीज़ जेन्युइन है कि नहीं. तो मेरा तो वही रहेगा, पहला तो नेमार जूनियर रहेगा. दूसरा भी मैं बताएं, ब्राज़ीलियन कैरेक्टर ओनली, रोनाल्डिनियो. भाई क्या हो गया भाई, ऐसा कौन सा गम है जीवन में कि बिना पासपोर्ट की दूसरी कंट्री में पहुंच जाते हो. Like being such a great footballer, इतना बड़ा नाम and all, but still boy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He lacked discipline, no? That was the main issue.
I think so. That comes with the trait of every Brazilian footballer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lack discipline, but still, Baba, that is extreme what Ronaldinho does.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. और उन लोगों को खाने कहाँ ले जाऊँगा? Definitely some Indian typical dhaba, of course. They should know. How is the food from dhaba taste like?
So Neymar and Ronaldinho.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Dead or alive, no?
What?
Dead or alive?
No, like any footballer in history, no?
Yeah, like
भाई alive
अपना
भी कर ले
viewers
भाई.
को मालूम रहना चाहिए रे कौन
I mean-
है वो. अभी तू गर्ड मुलर सब बोलेगा तो लोग
No, I mean, of his era, but not Gerd Muller.
रिकू खुद बोलेगा भाई क्या कर रहे हो, गर्ड मुलर सब नहीं बोलने का, चलता नहीं है सब. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Johan Cruyff actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Proper.
For our young viewers, if you can also just give them a
Fine. Johan Cruyff is probably the most influential man in the history of football. His DNA, his footballing DNA is still continuing via like Pep and then Xavi and you know, from Pep who has got it. Pep's learned from Cruyff.
Cruyff is someone who's invented total football by the way.
I mean, yeah, so it was him and Rinus Michels who was the manager at Ajax and the Dutch side in 74.
ये भी बोल दो total football क्या होता है.
Total football.
Now we'll need an extra...
अरे थोड़ा brief में बोल दे. Give reasons in 3 sentences. 5 marks.
How do you explain total football in 3 sentences?
But
It's just...
You
like,
it's
summarize it.
It's
Summarize.
very... It's fluid football basically. There's no fixed positions for players. Like there's no... each player is not bound to a particular position. You
Yeah.
have freedom to move around. And if someone goes up, another player covers his... Is this a very loose...
yeah.
So basically, how we play in our turf.
No, that's
For-
total chaos. That's not total football. That's total chaos.
A good example is John Stones becoming a midfielder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we moved out of topic. But yeah,
Yeah.
Johan Cruyff, what would you
Cruyff.
ask?
I mean,
Cruyff?
just his philosophy about football, what he learned from. He's quite an eccentric character as well, but yeah, he's one. And Thomas Muller, he's just funny. entertaining. Like
Of
Just
course,
like
like
a-
a German fan would
Yeah, of
find
course.
Thomas
I
Muller.
Actually-
definitely expected one
Lewandowski.
player to be German. I
I-
would pay a good amount of money to
I
bet on
actually
that.
didn't get the idea till you said Gerd Muller, to be honest. I did. I was wondering who that second person would be, but
Okay.
how about you?
And where would you take them to?
Some
beer cafe.
Yeah, some beer place, obviously. Some beer
Oktoberfest.
Schnitzels.
Oktoberfest.
place. Yeah, why not best? How about you?
Like I had time to marinate my thoughts a little bit, but still it's such a difficult question.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Like I made it more difficult for you guys by putting you on the spot. But for me, the first person would definitely be Sir Alex.
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to why I would want to have dinner with him was just to get a basic understanding on how managing individuals has changed from the 90s to say 2010.
Yeah.
So, and I would also want to know from him that, you know, how would he manage specific characters? Like he basically said it in his book, like take a different way to like to a player like Cantona, and it would be take a different approach to speak to someone like Beckham. So yeah, I would want to know more about that, and I would also want to know more gossip about the internal conflict between Beckham and Sir Alex, like his view, because I think in the documentary Sir Alex's view is not focused on that much when I watched it. So I would like to know more of his stance on it, and the rivalry days between Arsenal and United,
Oh, that's a crazy.
how
Yeah.
they would go into that game preparing, you know. So I would like to know more about that. Yeah, with Ferguson, I would definitely take him to like a good upscale place because yeah, otherwise he would throw another shoe at my head if I took him to like a shady bar or something like that. But yeah, Ferguson would definitely be one of those. The second is like so many players come to my head, but yeah, it would have to be Wayne Rooney. He's been my idol ever since I've grown up, and I would just, you know, I would like to have a very chill conversation with him. I would like to know a little bit about his early years as to how he managed to break in so early as a young prodigy, and how he handled that pressure, you know, at a young age, because he moving from Everton to United at such a young age with
Was it
a
18?
heavy.
He was 18 when he moved, or
Yeah,
what?
he was 18.
18 when he moved to
He
United.
broke on when he was 16. Like,
Yeah.
I think the goal against Arsenal that he
Was-
scored, that
yeah.
screamer, that's when he was 16, I think. So yeah, I would basically want to know that the pressure going into the dressing room with the likes of Keane and Nistelrooy at that time as well.
Yep.
So yeah, that's one place I would like want to chat with Vaza about, and with Rooney, same, like a good beer pub, good
Yeah.
beer place. He's been to India as well, so yeah, that's the
Taj Mahal.
that's my two picks.
Yeah.
I would like to like dine and have a chat with. But anyway, boys, what do we want to discuss about today? What do we want to talk about?
भैया चलिए बैलन डियोर ही डिस्कस कर लेते हैं.
Yeah, a little bit of we didn't get to give our take on the Ballon
We
d'Or.
did get a chance,
We
but
did get a chance, but
but
let's
कोई
not go
था
into
कोई
Yeah,
था
let's
जिसके
not-
वजह से
why this thing did not happen earlier, right?
Like,
Let's just label it as technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Technical glitches.
I think that is the
Yeah.
Very bad technical glitches.
official term for
Yeah.
such issues.
Let's talk about the Ballon d'Or. Who wants to start?
Let's start with our Messi man, no? I mean,
Messi man. Okay, so he deserved this year also. The first
Why?
controversial statement I will
Why?
make.
No, definitely not the last.
Of course, but still, this year Messi deserving Ballon d'Or because of World Cup. First of all, it was focused on World Cup. The Ballon d'Or was focused on World Cup. So apart from World Cup, if you look at his stats from Ligue 1 or from Champions League or from some other league which he has played in the French Cup, overall his stat is compared to Haaland is somewhat on the same level. If you look at the goals, the assist and everything, they are on the same level. Both have around 62, 63 goal and assist contribution around the year. Both are having somewhat same impact in the game. But Messi, because of the World Cup, has that edge in the Ballon d'Or. That's the only big thing that has backed him to win the 8th Ballon d'Or. It's my view. I have many stats on why Haaland didn't deserve, but that's other thing to say. But overall, for me, that performance Messi gave in this World Cup is totally out of this world. Like, of course, the Argentina team was dependent on him. The whole team was literally dependent on one man. The whole setup, the game setup was built on that man. And what Messi did with this team, how like they were at one point in the league stage, they were literally going to crash out of the World Cup after their first loss against Saudi.
Yeah.
And against the match against Mexico also, they were like they didn't had any goals until 60th minute, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And the goal which Messi produced literally upped the tempo for the Argentinians. Now we have someone, our captain, playing for us, and we can pull this off. A miracle for them, because I think so Argentina is the only second team who has gone on to win the final after Spain, losing a first league match and going on to win the final. So it was overall a great World Cup for Messi, and he won the golden ball also there. He won the golden ball. So overall I think so Messi deserved it because of the World Cup, because nothing is bigger than World Cup. In fact, if you compare a treble with a World Cup, I would always say that World Cup is bigger than a treble any day. For the as a journalist point of view also, as a more importance of a trophy also. So that's my take. I will give in more points if like someone contradicts on this.
I have just one question about this. If Messi had Haaland season, and if Haaland had Messi season, then would Messi fans not be up in arms about Messi should have won the Ballon d'Or because Messi's won the treble?
That's a good question.
Coming back on the same point, if Messi had won the treble and someone has won a World Cup, so of course that happened in like Messi didn't win a treble, but this thing, Luka Modric, he went to be the finalist of 2018 World Cup. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason of his winning the Ballon d'Or over Cristiano Ronaldo was the performance in the World Cup.
But they also won the Champions League, in which they both played on the same team.
They won, but if you look at the stats of Cristiano Ronaldo, they are like literally on the other level if you compared with Luka Modric.
But the role of Modric in that team is so different to what Ronaldo is. So
the same thing goes for Messi also. Messi is now more of a playmaker than a goal scorer. But still he has the same number of, literally kind of not the same number of goals, but goal contribution as when compared to Haaland is something different, that which you all have to agree on this thing.
Premier League, French League, there's no drop off.
So Premier League and French League is a drop off. I agree on that point, but you can't just don't agree on someone who's performing on Ligue 1 just because he is from Ligue 1. You can't just say that this person doesn't deserve a Ballon d'Or because he comes from a league which is not as competitive as a Premier League. And that is also a metric which has never been defined whether Premier League is the most competitive league in the world. There's no definition for it.
It is the most competitive league in the world.
How can you say so? Is there any metric? You have not, in Premier League teams have not won most number of Champions League, not won most of number of.
How many Champions Leagues have Ligue 1 teams won?
Don't compare with Ligue 1. Compare with other. You are saying it is the most competitive in the.
Now is with Messi and Haaland, no?
Yeah.
But also
if you look you compare Ligue 1 and you compare the Premier League today, you tell me which league, how many top players are going to Ligue 1?
I'm not saying that today most of the players are going where there is more money. Okay.
Why does Mbappe want to leave and go to Madrid?
He never left, but on the first place.
But
look
he
at
wanted
that
to
thing.
leave. They didn't allow him to leave, no?
That is another thing. But did he leave?
Yeah.
Did he leave? Where did he
they
leave?
didn't allow him to leave.
They didn't allow him to leave. That's the thing, na?
They didn't allow him.
They got the president to come in and tell him, told him to stop.
Whatever
they involved Emmanuel Macron in this.
They gave him more money. They gave him more
control.
Exactly.
So he thought he might have been having a good thing with the money and the control with the PSG team.
But there's no way Mbappe is staying at PSG because the quality of the competition is good.
But would you just not give any player from the Ligue 1 Ballon d'Or just because he is playing in Ligue 1? Just my question is
Can
with
I
that.
tell you
The-
one thing?
The Ballon d'Or is
Messi has not got the Ballon d'Or because of his Ligue 1 performances.
Huh? Of
He
course.
solely got the Ballon d'Or because he's won
he
the
won the
World
World
Cup.
Cup. Yeah.
So,
so
even
it's-
the so when you're saying that Messi has 32 goal contributions, whatever,
64.
64,
Yeah.
32 goals and
32
whatever,
assists,
so many
yeah.
assists.
Yeah.
That's in a league where it's very easy for Messi to get that. And in a team that Messi is playing with the likes of Mbappe, because the thing
But-
with the Ligue 1 is that your smaller teams are not upsetting you. That's the thing. There's no competition in that league.
So also I think it's so much so a sort of like a compendium of emotion coming together, right? It's so much so okay. Oh, like Messi won the World Cup. For our Indian fans, they'll understand, Sachin 2011, how much the emotion was there. So I think we're also missing out on this aspect that journalists vote for the Ballon d'Or, and it's mostly determined by emotion. By the we're talking about statistics and competition and competitiveness. It's not about that. It's about the emotion of the whole thing, right? Of course, Messi
It is
had a
also
brilliant
impact to the game.
yeah, impact to the game, of course.
Yeah.
It's kind of like his winning lap. I don't think he's gonna win another Ballon
No,
d'Or.
no, this is the end.
Yeah, so this is the end. It's kind of like his victory lap, and everyone gave him the whatever one ranking on their this thing, because they were like, oh, this man has been probably the greatest player we've seen in the history of the sport, however long it has.
There's no
lasted.
arguing about
Yeah,
that.
so they it was kind of like a victory lap for him, coming home, winning this 8th Ballon d'Or, and being done with it. But I think we also need to discuss, is Ballon d'Or really the metric that we set ourselves for, like the greatest player
Of the
ever,
year,
of the year,
Of
right?
course, that is being said. If you look at the Messi and the Ronaldo debate,
Yeah.
and you have fans of each section saying that Messi is the GOAT because he has 8 Ballon d'Ors.
Yeah, and
It
and
is a
one more-
metric, right? So
Yeah.
if that will be a point in discussion where you say that what's the difference between Ronaldo and Messi, is that Messi has a World Cup,
Yeah, and 8
But-
Ballon d'Ors.
Messi also has 8 Ballon d'Ors
Yeah, yeah.
And more golden boots.
and 0 Premier League medals, but
But it
Okay.
doesn't matter. He never played in that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but still
Okay.
he never tested himself in the best league, in the best football league, and the most
No.
toughest games in the whole world, but it's okay.
It's not a metric. No one has judged that as a best.
No,
game.
but UEFA does this competitiveness ranking, by the way. I looked into it for
Why do
another-
you think the Premier League has 5 teams playing in the Champions League?
But why do you think
Why
the
aren't
most
there- why are
more
there-
La
why
Liga teams
aren't
have won
there-
the more
Why
Clear.
aren't there 5 teams from Ligue 1 and 5 teams from
viewership? I would say.
La Liga
I would
over
say
here?
viewership. For that, there is
Why
viewership.
is the viewership more?
Viewership? Because it is more Premier League teams are more marketable. You can say so.
Yeah.
It you have more. First of all, it is an English-speaking country, so you can connect with most of the mass audience in that thing. And I would say, see, competitiveness. If you compare, like Premier League is the most competitive league in the whole world. You might have some metric to it. You might have some metric suggesting, but I have never seen that metric. Of course, like I might not be aware of it. But how do you compare, like how it is more competitive from the other league? If you see on the views, it can be like anything. Viewership is nothing more than, like, if you are more marketable, you have more viewership.
No, it's not just about the viewership. It's just in the Premier League, you have these teams that are very, like any team can beat any team at any given moment, and that kind of jeopardy is not there in other top European leagues. Like, it's at least not to that level.
Yeah, but also, like, yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time, like, as I'm just playing devil's advocate here, I agree with your point. I've grown up watching the Premier League, but you look at Girona right now, they're top of the league, right? So this, like, being very recency bias is obviously there, but there could be a point made to, like, Girona being there, right? And we have seen these kind of upsets happen with, like, the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid as well, although I would still say that top 4 or top 3 at least is very concrete, and other teams are fighting for like 4, 5, 6 places, which are the European
So
places.
you look at also. I know we are slightly deviating. We'll also come back to the Ballon d'Or. We can talk about why the Premier League, why you believe that the Premier League is not the metric of being the best league in the world at the moment. You look at the French league. You look at the German league. You talk about competitiveness, right? You look at the German league. You look at the Spanish league.
Yeah.
How many teams apart from Barcelona and Real Madrid have won that?
And
In
Atletico
Spain, you'd look at Atletico, and Atletico have come in now. In the last 10 years, Atletico have won what? 2 leagues?
2 leagues, yeah.
Yep.
2 times, yeah.
Apart from that 3 teams, how many other Premier League teams? How many other teams have won these competitions?
The league.
The league, yeah, La Liga, basically.
So
You're
in the
saying
last
you're
10
talking competitiveness,
yeah,
right?
In the
So
last 10 years, I don't think so anyone has won apart from these 3. I agree on that.
yeah,
Okay, but same goes for PL. From the last 4-5 years, Man City has going through
I'm
with
talking
everything.
about the last 10 years, na? You
So
look at the last 10 years.
If you talk about the last 10 years,
Liverpool?
also there's only three
No.
unique
Liverpool?
unique winners.
Liverpool, Chelsea,
City,
City,
Leicester,
Leicester, and
United,
would-
this
And
is the
United
10th year.
too, yeah.
this is the 10th year. So United,
10th year.
yeah, 5
United in 2012, Manchester City,
No,
Liverpool,
13.
yeah, 2012-13.
Yeah.
United, right?
United, yeah.
City, Chelsea, twice in fact in that time. Right?
Yeah, Chelsea, twice,
Leicester,
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
5 teams have won the
Okay.
league.
Okay,
And in that time, you look at the teams competing with those 5 teams. We had Spurs go in the title race.
Yeah.
We had Arsenal go into the title race
Yeah.
once.
Liverpool
United
also.
challenged.
Yeah.
So the competitiveness is on a whole other planet compared to what La Liga
See,
and what
I get your
Bundesliga
point
gets.
on what you are suggesting to be. Just like एक controversial statement मैं इस पे बोलना चाहूँगा. ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है तो वो सारी teams average हों और average fighting amongst average will be a competition.
But that is there, right? So to your point, then the UEFA competitiveness coefficient comes in, like
Yeah.
because English teams are going further into the Champions League.
Yeah.
इसलिए 5 teams खेल रहे हैं next
Yeah.
season, right? Instead of like just being 4. I don't think it's just like it's confirmed yet, but it'll be confirmed.
It is 5
soon.
teams from
It
next
is
season.
it is 5. It is 5
Depends
teams.
on
So
who finishes fifth,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
depends on who finishes 5th.
Right.
Next
If it's
season.
Chelsea or United, then yes.
If it's Chelsea United, Arsenal,
Arsenal.
no, not Arsenal, sorry,
Arsenal.
Chelsea United, City,
City, Liverpool.
Liverpool.
City, Liverpool are definitely in the top 4.
Yeah.
But if it's United or Chelsea who finish 5th, because their coefficient ranking is higher because of how they've performed in European competitions, then they get that.
Then
berth.
they get that. Yeah. Exactly.
That is bias, bro.
That is not biased.
It's not biased, it's
That is
based on
literally
the-
a statistical measure of
it's
how
the
good
measure
of
your
how
team
the
is on the
teams have
European
done.
How
level.
your teams
in the
perform
on
in
the European stage.
But
Because
if some new team comes to your league, just asking a question, if some new team comes to your league, for example, Luton Town, it is their first season, I think so, in
Yeah.
this Premier League.
Yeah.
So, for example, if they go to the fifth position, so they won't make it to the.
They won't because they've never featured in the Champions League, na.
But
the,
it is
the objective of that 5th spot is to give a team
which is more competitive.
to make the Champions League more competitive. Because how are you going to
yeah,
for
based
any
on
reason
historical
or done
measure.
if
Yeah.
Luton
But
Town get there?
if there's a new team which has never been to Champions League, won't it be unfair for them?
They have to finish
So they have to
fourth.
finish top 4. Yeah.
No, but it would
Because
be unfair.
these teams have also gone into the Champions League and performed well for the last 10 years.
Huh,
na?
but these teams have good funding and everything, so that is for some other day. But still,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Leicester did it, right? Leicester bloody won the whole thing without any fundings, without any that.
how many points were on that season for Leicester? I think so in some 80s.
Yeah, but you have had teams win it at 80. Like if you discount City and City and
Sir
Liverpool.
Alex's teams won it at 80.
Yeah, so City and Liverpool in recent years have crossed the 90 barrier quite frequently. But before that, I feel like 87, 88-ish were like most winners have won it at that point. Also, for just to interject, the last team not named Barcelona, Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid to win the La Liga were Valencia in 2003-04.
Okay.
Yeah.
20
that's
years.
how
20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think like for me, coming back to the Messi and the
Haaland.
Yeah, we've
Haaland
gone
as well.
way
Nah,
off
that's
topic.
it. We can just
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
an uncensored show. It's
Yeah.
an unscripted show, so we
Yeah.
can go on talking about golf if you like. But which I want.
Anything but cricket, please.
Shittiest
Nothing but
sport
cricket.
ever. But I don't know how people get business done over golf, man. It's so boring. Anyway, yeah, maybe I think it's boring. That's why they get business done.
Yeah,
because
exactly,
They
because
don't focus on the sport. So, yeah, coming back to the Messi and the Ronaldo debate as to
Haaland.
also. I'll get to Haaland, but the GOAT debate.
Okay.
We are talking
Oh,
about the
right.
GOATness.
Right, right.
Okay,
And you say that the thing is, Messi easily had a chance that, like I said in the last glitched podcast, that Messi had a chance to not go to the French league when he left Barcelona
Yeah.
and to join
Yeah.
Pep at City.
Yeah.
And for me, that would still, that's my controversial take, it's my opinion, to that end that GOAT debate. Like, to come to a league, to come to the best league in the world and have that Premier League medal.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you look at Ronaldo's trophy cabinet, he has the Premier League, he has the La Liga,
Yeah.
right? He has 5 Champions Leagues,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And he has a Euro as well. So basically every league he's been at, he's conquered. And you look at all these 3 leagues, the Premier League, the La Liga, and the Serie A at that time,
Yeah.
are all better than the French league.
Yeah.
Are more competitive than the French league.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where I put Ronaldo. Is like Ronaldo has always been someone who's taken a little bit of a challenge in his life, right? So that's where I feel that the GOAT debate is still on par. Maybe Messi winning the league, winning the World Cup for me is on par. I still don't say without Messi winning the Premier League that he's not the GOAT.
No,
the World Cup. He's not the GOAT for me.
I actually disagree. I feel like if you want to talk about challenges, that Barcelona team that Messi played in towards the end of his Barcelona tenure,
Yeah.
they were god awful. Like
It was terrible.
they were
Yeah.
absolutely terrible teams.
Yeah, but
I don't think like
the Manchester United that Ronaldo came into was god awful, but he still managed to get those stats. The second term
Second.
that he came
second
into,
term.
the
What,
second
Ten
term.
Hag?
No, not Ten Hag. The Ranić season, the
Ranić
Oli and the
So,
Ranić season.
Oli and Ranić, but
That team was god awful as well, but he was the only
you know
shining
what?
light in that team
No,
scoring
you
goals.
know what? I'd argue that they were god awful also in part due to him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fine. But
That's
even
fine.
I had a lot of people saying that Messi is pulling this Barcelona side behind. A lot of people were also saying that it's time for Messi to move on because everything is going through Messi and that's limiting the other players as well in that god awful season that Barcelona had.
No, actually, I don't think we had enough. Like
A lot of the fans were not agreeing, obviously, but the critics were saying that Messi is keeping this Barcelona side behind.
Okay, at least I've not heard such criticism about Messi. At least at Barcelona, at PSG, I mean, whole different mess. That's a different topic altogether. But
Yeah.
at Barcelona, I don't think they even get to that semi-final without Messi, where they lost eventually to Liverpool. I
That
don't
even
think.
Ronaldo has
No,
put
but
clutch
it's not just-
performances
no,
in
but
Champions
the
League
thing
to
is,
win Champions League for them,
so
especially the Bayern game. That was
Madrid Bayern, again, different topic because there are so many things wrong with those ties, and we'll be here all day debating that. But anyway,
yeah, but
uh,
you cannot get on from the
no, the
fact
thing is,
of
no, I'm not-
Ronaldo's influences
I-
on his team also winning trophies.
I don't disagree. I'm at no point am I saying Ronaldo is bad because he's
Good.
like
He's great.
He's an exceptional talent. Like he and Messi being in the same era kind of
yeah,
helped
we've
each
been
other.
fortunate
Yeah,
to
and no,
watch
but
both of
also
them,
they
yeah.
push each other. One does not
Exactly,
really
yeah.
get to that level without the other.
Yeah.
They push each other that way. So I'm not saying Ronaldo's bad. I just feel like there's like saying that Messi did not take on challenges is a bit unfair.
No, I feel like in his career, I always feel Messi has played it safe. For me, he's always played it safe with the teams he was in. He had that, and the biggest reason for me saying that was his move to PSG. I still feel Messi has a lot to give, and I still don't agree with him moving to the MLS. I know
He's
it's on
proved
him
everything he was.
because because it's on him. But for me, that move from Barcelona to PSG was never a move for him to make, because at that time Messi still had a lot to give, and for me, I think Messi is God gifted. I'm not saying that Messi is. I don't have anything against Messi saying that he's a shittier player than Ronaldo or whatever. He's not a shittier player than Ronaldo. He's a better technical footballer than Ronaldo. I am still saying this as a United and as a Ronaldo fan. Technically, he's still better than Ronaldo. But for me, he's not proven that enough. I say that because for me, a player to be called one of the greats has to be judged in the Premier League in terms of club football. Has to be proven on the difficult stages against these teams where they'd rattle you and where they'd kick you, and that's where your mental state comes in as a footballer.
I mean,
So
but
that's what
also,
I feel.
Also,
We often say he's never been tested on a cold night and when a cold Monday
cold
night,
rainy night,
Cold
and
windy,
Stoke.
yeah.
cold windy night at Stoke.
Yeah.
Because those players, they rattle you, and a mental perception of a player is only tested when you keep getting kicked. That's why the thing also with the likes of Eden Hazard and all these players, they've been like kicked and they've been stuffed and they've been this, but they still get up and they still keep going ahead. And I haven't seen Messi being like, obviously he's taken his fair share of fouls and everything like that, but I haven't seen him being tested in that atmosphere. So that's one of the reasons where I feel that it's not.
But I mean, like, to be fair, like Ronaldo also moved to Saudi, right?
But now I'm saying
no, but
Ronaldo's 38 at the moment. Messi's
Yeah.
what, 36?
But you know, Messi's achieved
won the World
everything
Cup,
that
man. Come on.
he has to. Yeah.
And let's be honest, Messi's gone there by choice. Ronaldo was kicked out of the team.
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo was kicked out of the team. He could have been without a club without like 6 months. I think he was still searching for that Champions League.
A European club would have still come
No,
and picked him.
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Don't
No
know,
club.
but
No club.
will-
He went begging to like so many people.
no, but
right?
that's
No.
because he didn't have time. But say if you would give him another 6 months,
Yeah, if he
club,
had gone 6 months
कोई ना
clubless.
कोई club आके
Yeah.
approach कर ही देता था. We are in a situation. What do you say? We have a problem in the striking department. Can you come and help us out?
Yeah, the likes
So-
of like Chelsea would have come maybe.
Yeah, like
don't disagree with me, okay? Yeah.
and actually
Mr.
there were
Todd
those
Bowley.
rumors. No,
Yeah.
Todd Bowley actually
Bowley
wanted
wanted
him.
him,
Yeah,
Tuchel
Todd
did
Bowley
not.
wanted
and
him. Yeah, exactly.
I
So, don't say
thank
that
God
there
that
were
Tuchel
clubs
was
who were-
not sacked before that window
Exactly.
ended.
So there were clubs who were there who would get him just for his
No.
marketing ability.
Yeah, but we dodged the bullet.
No one's denying that,
100%
but
of the
I'm
bullet.
not. You're not understanding what I'm saying. You're saying
No.
that there are people who would want him at the club.
Yes, but he does not bring that anymore.
That's a separate question, Aditya.
I don't.
That's a separate question.
No.
But I'm just saying that there would be
भाई
people
Ballon
who
d'Or
would
की
want
बात हो रही थी.
to get him
No,
in
no.
the club.
No.
Yeah, no, but Chelsea would definitely buy him. You can't deny that.
Exactly.
Definitely buy.
Whether he's
Hang on.
giving you
Definitely
this or
buy.
he's not
Hang
giving
on.
you that,
No,
that's
no,
a
no.
separate question.
Hang on. Let's put that into context. When you say Chelsea, you were talking about American owners who had no idea about how a football club is run and
Yeah,
had no
okay.
idea about how football is played. You're
Huh.
talking about owners who suggested
We
what,
want Glazers out.
4-4-3 formations.
Yeah.
If you want to say, oh, these guys wanted Ronaldo in the squad, then sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying.
like
That they
it-
wanted
yeah,
Ronaldo
it
in
is
the
that
squad.
that
Yeah,
that
actually the same
that's
thing even
the
Sporting wanted him.
Yeah,
But
Like
wages.
there was a reunion for Sporting happening as well, but
yeah.
then
Wages,
in
no.
the end,
wages were the issue there.
wages number one, like if
He
it's
didn't want to
between
go back,
Sporting
yeah.
and Saudi
Saudi.
at the age of 38,
He'll
there's
just
a very
take the money.
clear winner over there, right?
Yeah.
But coming to Haaland,
Yeah.
what a season he's had, and Tushar made a point saying that there's nothing harder than winning a World Cup. Is that true? Winning a treble is harder or winning a World Cup's harder?
Winning a treble is hard. Winning a treble is harder because like so many greats have won the World Cup. So many great teams have won the World Cup. Also, it's I mean, to be fair, it's one tournament, right? Of course, it's the biggest tournament, and the pressure is unreal, and you don't play with the same players for like 11 months out of 12. But still, you have a streak, you win it like Argentina did. And of course, I'm not saying that it's a bad team by any measure, but they had a streak. They had the gods on their side. Let's be honest. Like Emi Martinez, does not come up with that save against Colomwani.
I just made a point that time also. I said Emi Martinez was more influential for Argentina than Leo Messi.
Yeah, I mean, like on like in terms of spirit, no, but in terms of in-field on-goal contributions, yeah,
Trust
definitely.
me, if Emi Martinez doesn't make that save,
Then they
in
wouldn't
the end,
have won.
they wouldn't win the
have
World
won. They
Cup.
wouldn't have won.
If
They
Emi
wouldn't-
Martinez
Yeah.
doesn't save the efforts in the quarters,
Yeah.
doesn't save them on penalties in the quarters
Yeah.
and the finals,
they don't.
Messi doesn't have a World Cup.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me,
Emi
coming back to the Ballon d'Or debate, Emi Martinez's footprint on Argentina winning the World Cup is higher than that of Messi's.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
No.
No,
mean-
I agree. In terms of on-field contributions,
no, but you
absolutely.
can't just look at on-field contribution. No, the thing is what Messi represents to that team and that nation. It
So,
has
okay, again,
dragged them along to that.
But
How-
Messi can
but-
score 10 goals and the other team can score 10 goals. But it's that save that in the end that wins you, that takes the game forward and wins
So,
them the World Cup.
Absolutely,
It's the penalty shootout in the
Casillas
end.
in the 2010 World
Because
Cup.
if you
right?
ask me
remember,
who
you
was the
remember
man
that
of the
save?
match,
Yeah.
sorry, just Rochak 1 minute. If you ask me who was given the man of the match in the final, it was Messi, right? Did
Yeah.
Messi win the man of the match in the World Cup final?
I think so, yes.
He
Yes.
scored-
No, I think so.
But he also
Mbappe.
did score 2 goals. Oh yeah, Mbappe might have won. it.
Mbappe,
Mbappe.
three goals. Because
3
of
goals,
that.
hat-trick.
Yeah.
Hat-trick,
Okay,
yeah.
but exactly that's what I'm saying. If Messi gets the man of the match over Emi Martinez, that's totally unfair because Emi Martinez makes the save in that crucial juncture and then he makes the saves in the penalty shootout as well.
No, but I don't think it's unfair because Messi did get 2 goals in that final himself.
I'm
and
not
if
saying
it-
it's unfair,
You
but
just
I'm-
said it was
No,
unfair.
I'm just trying to say. No, I'm just trying to say that the imprint of Martinez was way higher than Messi. So what I'm trying to say,
So-
if I could restructure, what I'm trying to say, if Messi got it, I would be like, yeah, he doesn't deserve it, but okay. But Martinez not getting it is unfair.
The Ballon d'Or.
No, not the Ballon d'Or, definitely. The man of the match in the
Okay.
in the final. So that's why I'm saying that Martinez's imprint
Yeah.
on that final and the quarterfinal as well was way higher than Messi's imprint on winning the
Did
World Cup
Messi not get? How many did he get in the quarter? He scored at least 1 quarterfinal.
against Netherlands.
He
yeah,
scored in
oh,
every match.
and he
bro.
scored- yeah,
apart
he-
from
he
apart
sco-
from I think so Poland, he scored in every match.
How many
So,
were penalties?
There are
6.
few. No, there were few.
Wait, he scored how many goals in the World Cup?
No, he scored 5 penalties, total 7 goals
He scored penalties.
and 7 assists.
No, but like no. But like you neglect the on-pitch contribution in terms of what he provided to that team. Like, so the Netherlands game, the quarterfinal, he scores a penalty, and also his assist for that
Oh my
goal
God.
is insane. That's like you expect that kind of vision from KDB, maybe, like that level of players.
Yeah.
Like it was that kind of the find to get. Who was it? Who was the right back?
Morello. No. I think so.
Not
No. The right back. Wait.
Molina.
Morina.
Montiel.
Montiel, sorry, it's not
Montiel,
Montiel.
sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
Montiel, yeah. The vision to pick that pass,
Yeah.
to delay that pass till just the right moment, and the weight on it. So you're talking about quarterfinal impact. You can't say Martinez had a higher impact than Messi because Messi is also the reason they got to that stage.
Of
Yeah,
course.
but Martinez is the reason why they got to the next stage, which is way more crucial. Because after that, what I'm trying to say is
Okay.
Messi would still get another chance, Aditya, to do something like that. Right? Messi would still get another chance to do something like that. But Martinez does not have that ability to do something like that again.
So you can also say na कि बाबा starting
For-
में
for-
Martinez
wait, are you talking about
conceded
the
2
final?
goals. उसका क्या?
Yeah, like in the last moment, say if Martinez say if that goal goes in,
Yeah.
right? Can Messi immediately equalize after that?
No.
The game is 99.99% won by France, right?
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying that you being a goalkeeper, you should know how important things like that for a goalkeeper are to do at that moment of time.
Yeah.
So by that
No, but
calculation,
like-
every goalkeeper should get man of the match at the end of the
How every keeper?
No,
Because
no,
every
no,
keeper is
1
not in
minute.
that situation. Most keepers, some would
also,
not charge.
no, because the point is also that the timing,
Timing,
right? The
That timing,
there, the
right?
timing, right?
That those are
That's-
those clutch moments
No,
Yeah.
but
I-
that
hang on.
basically win you the
Hold-
World Cup in the end.
Yeah, hold on. I'm reminded of Iker Casillas in 2010.
Yeah,
right?
you wanted to make that point.
Where he made that almost like 5 minutes from full time save, or he took out like Ian Robbins' effort.
This is the final. Yeah.
Final. Right, so and that allowed them to hit them with Iniesta on the counter, and they won. So that's basically the importance. Like it was up to that point, it was 0-0. The final was 1-0, right? So those and it was like a one
I know.
goal game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm not denying the importance of the moment, even with Martinez, but to pick that out and be like, oh, he had more influence on the game because he had that one moment.
No,
That's-
not influence,
hang
not on the game.
Let me make my point here.
Not on the game.
Let me make my. You just said he had more influence. He had a higher impact on the final than Messi did. That's what you said. Okay. That is ignoring everything that's come before it, and that's not right.
But then in the end, that does not matter, Aditya. If he does not make that save, whatever has happened before
You
does
can
not
say that.
matter.
You can say that about every single moment in that World Cup. No.
Anything before that does not matter if he does not make that save in the end.
Why? If Messi does not score that goal, then it's already 3-2. There's no save to come into it. There's
But
no
I'm saying-
save to keep it level. This
But
is
Messi has time to correct that. The attackers
In-
have time to correct those
Arey,
situations.
so
That's what I'm trying to say.
But Emi Martinez also have a time to correct that if that shot has been taken around at 40th or 50th
what.
minute.
But that's what I'm saying. In the
But
end,
in the
he
end-
saves it in the end.
But he also conceded 2 goals, right? 3 goals.
Three
sorry.
goals he conceded.
Three goals.
Huh.
But you also look at that thing also, right? He conceded 3 goals in a final.
Yeah, exactly.
Messi scored 2 goals. So how can you just no offense to Emi Martinez, of course,
Yes.
but what Emi Martinez did, it was his job to do, right?
Yeah.
One thing came onto his leg, it got saved. It's fine. What Messi and the team had to do, they have to score goals in order to be in the game. Hadn't not Messi scored that goal, भाई मार्टिनेज बचाए ना बचाए हारना ही था फिर
It
तो
doesn't matter. That's the point.
वही,
No. You're saying
अगर
what
it's-
comes before
but-
doesn't matter,
एक
but
नहीं-
it does matter.
So
I mean, I
basically एक ये तो ऐसा हो गया कि एक चीज नहीं होगी तो दूसरी नहीं होगी, तो इसलिए दोनों का इंपॉर्टेंस आप एक नहीं ऊपर कर सकते हो.
हाँ,
एवरीथिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
Exactly.
But-
Yeah, okay. I think we'll stay stuck here. so maybe let's move on to the Norwegian robot.
So हाँ,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Let's
Who's-
talk about
Yes.
Let's talk about
Haaland.
Haaland,
Exactly.
fine.
You
Yeah.
he said like treble is more tough to win than World Cup because treble is all round the year competition
Yeah.
than a World Cup. But do you think like if you are a player, would you take a treble or a World Cup?
That's a very difficult question.
that's a
Am I
good
playing
question.
for India? I'll take the World Cup. Bro. I'll
But
take
no,
the
no,
World
no,
Cup.
no,
anytime.
you
that
are
is-
a-
that
you are a
is
footballing playing nation.
That is a totally different
No,
prospect only
it's
you're
just
talking about.
So Baba, it's not that कि देखो एक चीज देखो
What
treble.
you take does not define how hard it is to win.
अरे hard, it's simple. If you have
I love my country more than I love my club, तो मैं World Cup ही
Yeah.
लेगा ना.
तो
Yeah.
but obvious. So that's
Exactly, but that
so-
does not define the difficulty level of winning something.
So treble has also been won by so many teams. It's
How
not that
many
it's
teams
very.
in the Premier League?
अरे तो Premier League teams are not able to win World Cup because they might be average in that thing.
Hey, the thing is,
It's
Sorry,
harder
World
to win
Cup.
the Premier League, Tushar. That's what I'm telling you.
अरे बाबा.
Because if you look at the La Liga, if you tell me for Barcelona, you're saying how many teams have won?
Yeah,
Ki-
Barcelona has won.
Barcelona has won the treble.
Inter Milan has won.
Inter Milan has
Bayern
won the
Munich
treble.
has won.
Bayern Munich has won the
Yeah.
treble.
Porto.
You tell
Ajax,
me.
Porto has won.
Celtic,
Huh?
Celtic.
That was
Ajax, Celtic.
Celtic.
Ajax,
There are many
Celtic,
teams from every league that
United,
has won.
City.
exactly. But
City.
these clubs, I'm talking about United and City, have won the treble during the time where the league, where the two teams below them were the most competitive.
I just want to point out
time.
that this is a fruitless debate because the treble, like a World Cup, has to be won. Like you have like there has to be a winner in a World Cup. A treble is not there. It's like it is there to be won. It does
Yeah.
not need to be won
Yeah.
at any point. So I don't think you can really compare the two in terms of difficult. Like at least by saying how many teams have won the treble, because you don't have, like, there's no tournament called the treble that has to be won every year.
Yeah.
A World Cup has, like, some team has to win the World Cup, so obviously there will be more winners of that.
So
Yeah.
no, let's come. Okay, leave treble and everything. Let's come to the individual point of like individual performances for their team, respective teams. Okay. So as I said, Haaland and Messi stats are same, but you all don't agree on it because League One is like inferior league as compared to PL according to you all, and of course I accept on that point also that League One is inferior, not every league, but League One. So coming on that point, Haaland, his performance in semis and final of CL was absolutely shit. Was absolutely shit. Okay. So he has no goal contribution, nothing. He had around 4 to 5 passes in whole match. Whole match, like I have seen the stats.
But that's how
that's how the system works.
Compare कर Haaland और Messi को भाई.
So
Haaland's job is not to have touches outside the box.
ठीक है, उसका जॉब सिर्फ गोल मारना है, तो उसने नहीं मारा, ठीक है ना, वो काम ही नहीं किया, मतलब वो जॉबलेस था वो 2 मैच में.
हाँ ठीक है.
तो दो सेमीज के दोनों लेग में एंड फाइनल में भी ही वाज जॉबलेस. सेम इन FA कप फाइनल ही वाज जॉबलेस. Same in Super Cup, he was jobless. Same with against Arsenal in the last of the Premier League games, he was jobless. So Haaland was jobless in like literally 1 or 2 months in his whole full month.
Okay.
तो तुम वो भी तो चीज कंसिडर करो कि he has not performed in clutch matches. भाई बंदा जॉबलेस बैठा हुआ था.
हाँ
ठीक है, बंदा को कुछ नहीं कर रहा था, मतलब लिटरली ही वाज द टीम वाज प्लेइंग एज अ 10 मैन बिकॉज ना पासेस करना उसका रोल नहीं है, गोल मारना रोल है, वो हो नहीं पा रहा है, पासेस और असिस्ट कर नहीं पा रहा है, तो बंदा कर क्या रहा है, पिच पे बंदा है बाल बांध के, तो वो खड़ा है, तो मैं क्या
तो उसको जैसा तू बात कर रहा है उसको डिफेंडर ऐसा ही छोड़ दिया है क्योंकि वो कुछ कर रहा नहीं है.
डिफेंडर
when you have a talented player in your pitch and when you know that about Messi, right?
See,
you have 2 players marking one single guy. So that enables other people also to play their football.
ठीक है, but relevance भी तो देखो कि
so you're judging Haaland basis on the performances he's not had in the quarters and in the
main matches. It's not any matches, it's the main semis are main matches, finals are main matches. FA Cup final is a main match, Super Cup is a main match. Against, I think so, in the Euro qualifiers also against Spain he has the same kind of shit performance, some 0 goals, 0 passes, something like that. I have seen that stat, and in fact in the PL also in the last stages he had somewhat in the same. So in like majorly the critical matches he had a very bad performances. So look at that thing also. A player has not performed for his team. Do you think Haaland would been such a great Haaland if it had not been De Bruyne and Bernardo de Silva with him?
Yeah, but he's proven it in the Bundesliga. His numbers are very high in the Bundesliga. Wasn't he the top scorer in the Bundesliga?
No.
It was Lewandowski?
No. It was Lewandowski.
Yeah. Considering Lewandowski playing in that Bayer team and Haaland playing in that Dortmund team.
Again,
definitely.
Then I will come again to your same point that Bundesliga is not that competitive and other teams it's easy to score.
So, but he scored 30 plus goals in the Premier League.
35 goals वहाँ तो मारा उसने.
नहीं उधर नहीं 30 गोल मारा, प्रीमियर लीग की बात कर रहा है.
प्रीमियर लीग की बात कर रहा है.
बुंडेसलीगा में भी मारा उसने.
20 गोल मारा है. If I'm not wrong.
Is he not hit? No, he had 1.5 season at Dortmund, right?
He was injured also for that in that season, so he couldn't
Bundesliga, leave Bundesliga.
His
Coming
records
to Premier League.
but the Bundesliga is
other
irrelevant because this we are talking about last season right now.
Coming on PL, what he has done, I am not saying it's like बहुत कॉमन चीज़ है, एकदम रेयर चीज़ है what he has done. Okay, कोई कर ही नहीं पाया आज तक. पहला सीजन प्रीमियर लीग का, लाइक ऑफ कोर्स ही केम टू अ वेरी गुड सेटअप, ये कह सकते हैं. उसका एडवांटेज में यही था कि ही हैड अ ग्रेट टीम अराउंड हिम, अ ग्रेट मैनेजर, अ ग्रेट टीम अराउंड हिम. सो ये कह सकते हैं. बट स्टिल लाइक ही, वही बात है कि ही हैड अ ग्रेट टीम. वुड यू लाइक वो ये परफॉर्मेंस कर पाता बीइंग एन यूनाइटेड टीम? आई डोंट थिंक सो.
No, definitely not. 100%. Any other team. But the thing is also is to break that goal scoring record, like the way he did it.
Like out of 34 goals or 35, how many goals he had? 35 in a Premier League. He had around 34 inside the penalty box. So वो भी एक बात है.
No, that is fine.
That is his job. That is his job. Yeah, he's a poacher. He's an out and out number 9.
That I don't know how many penalties were there in that, but there were not many actually.
I think
that season
9-10 penalties. 9-10.
वो मेरे को देखना पड़ेगा, but I don't think there were that much of penalties over there. But for me, Haaland had an outrageous season. Like
He had.
that coming
I won't
in
disagree
from
on
a
this.
United fan,
Yeah,
it's really crazy.
He's-
And
Stat wise, no.
yeah,
Like,
I
it is,
get your
of
point
course.
as to he didn't perform well in the finals, in the
clutch
quarters.
matches, yeah.
But the thing is, if you see finals and the quarters, or say semis, they are the most highly contested games where teams are like, you would say a final is one of the most boring games to watch because everyone would be like, ha, bhai, it is very tactical. It's not free flowing because both teams are wary of each other, kind of coming up and taking the advantage. Coming into talking about the finals, I could see how much emphasis opposition defenders were giving when it came to marking Haaland. So basically, if you see even Inter, what they were doing in the final, they were completely on a low block. And the thing with Haaland in a low block is that if he does not have space around him,
It becomes
it's difficult
ineffective.
for him
Yeah,
to score.
He becomes
Right?
ineffective. Yeah.
In the end, that goal, City was frustrated, and in the end, that goal comes from Rodri.
Yeah.
You
So
even
why-
look at the
so-
FA Cup final,
So why don't this thing is done by every team in PL?
because it's
Because
not very. It cannot
yeah.
happen every time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you see Haaland's movement, United were trying to do that against City, but
In
you
this
see
match, the recent match,
the game which we
they
saw
left
together.
Haaland and he was.
No,
No, but
they
that's
didn't leave
clever. No,
Haaland.
no.
Haaland made a movement behind.
That's very
That's a very smart run actually as well.
But I think-
no,
So-
it's
so-
also
okay.
partly due to his teammates because you had two midfielders running into the box that occupied defenders, but that also
Yes.
Haaland's movement is very
But
smart.
Very
Haaland
smart.
Haaland
He's
drops back
incredibly smart,
a little.
yeah.
If you see the goal closely, Haaland goes into space, so he knows how to attack space pretty well. So in that way, I would say that if you said that he didn't do anything for so many days, the rant stage you went on, he didn't do anything on that stage. But actually, he has got so many goals to show for. He has so many trophies to show for, and it's not an easy job to be that consistent in one of the toughest club leagues in the world. It's
yeah,
not.
no, and it's never been done.
It's never been done. The greatest
If-
of players have come to
yeah,
the Premier League and they have not been able to do it.
Yeah, even Ronaldo couldn't do it. But
Couldn't
of course
do
he-
it.
So
At
the
Ronaldo
best
came
of
in
the
very
time
early stage.
Yeah,
right?
but
At
still-
2008, when United
Yeah.
were tearing past every team,
Yeah,
still Ronaldo couldn't do it,
yeah.
right? So it just says how tough it is to break that goal scoring record. And for me, people will disagree on the metrics as to how a player has to
When
be
was
judged.
the
How
last time any player from the PL has won a Ballon d'Or?
was it Ronaldo?
Right.
Michael Owen? No.
No,
I
it
think it
was
was Ronaldo.
Ronaldo was after.
Yeah,
Owen,
I think it was
Ronaldo.
It was Ronaldo.
It was Ronaldo in
It was
2008,
only,
2009, right?
2008, yeah. Yeah. So okay. So maybe we've had the GOAT debate of Ronaldo versus Messi, but maybe what would you guys say? Maybe let's have another controversial debate to end the pod.
Ronaldo.
No. It's gonna be Mbappe versus Haaland. Who's
Oh.
better? Folks,
For
yeah.
me, I so Mbappe because he has a lot more to offer than goal scoring, just goal scoring.
Okay.
So for me, it is going to be Mbappe. Haaland is a great player, but I prefer a player who has the all-round ability rather than
Mhm.
just like he is beast in just one portion. And
Correct.
Mbappe is not like Mbappe is kind of similar. He has a similar skill set as when compared to Haaland in the goal-scoring arena. So, but apart from the goal-scoring arena, Mbappe is better than Haaland. I consider that. No offense to Haaland, of course, he's going to win most of the trophies in the coming years because of the team he plays with. But I think so. It will be Mbappe. Let's ask Appu and Shahan on this.
What
thing.
was what
Mbappe versus
and
Haaland.
Haaland. You
Mbappe.
wanna go? You go first.
No, you go first. I'll formulate my debate right now.
What
So
exactly?
So we wanted
Like-
to know, like in the coming years, like what had been with Messi and Ronaldo. So I think so. These both players are on neck-to-neck competitors with each other, and it will be like a competition for these both players in the coming years. So who would you think would come out as a better player?
It's a very tough call. Like it's like a little bit like the Messi and the Ronaldo
So
debate.
it's same
Yeah,
thing.
it
we
is.
are-
It is right.
Where
So exactly.
these players are like so different compared
Mhm.
to where they play
Yeah.
and how they function. As
Yeah.
Mbappe is a player that will get you off your seat,
Mm.
right? He can bloody do something that you'll be like, wow.
Hmm.
On the other way, Haaland, you know, he's like in such good positions. He finds himself in. Of course, Haaland has the acrobatic effort or the crazy lunging header or that crazy bicycle robotic kick as well. He has that in him. But Mbappe, you would be like the way he cuts in, the way he receives the ball, the takers he has, you know. It's so tough to call, man.
Still give
Yeah,
your
I
view.
think Mbappe has to move.
Yeah.
For me, he'll never be judged as one of those, as like having a top input into the game if he's still at PSG. He has to move to Real Madrid,
for-
and I
like,
think he will.
After,
I think he will
after
move.
moving to Real Madrid, would you think Mbappe would come out as a better player as Haaland when
See,
compared to Haaland?
In the end, everything comes out on stats. Like we here are scrutinizing stats
Yeah.
compared to what the player overall brings to the game. I still feel Mbappe is the more complete player
As
than
when
Haaland.
compared to
Because Mbappe can do a job centrally as well as out wide. Like I would have someone like an Mbappe in my
rather
team
than a Haaland. Yeah.
rather than a Haaland, because Haaland, like you said, you Haaland has to be put in a system, then Haaland delivers,
Yeah.
right? So exactly to your point, if you say you put Haaland in a Manchester United team,
He won't
Haaland
perform.
does not function.
No.
But if you put Mbappe in a United team,
He can
Mbappe
perform.
can flourish,
Yeah.
right? Because Mbappe does have that flair where he can get something out of nothing, right? Haaland, on the other hand, if you put him out on the wing, you're like losing what Haaland is.
The
to,
only
right?
I think so.
So,
The only
Overall, I think Mbappe is the better player.
Mhm.
But considering where Haaland is, the setup at which he is, considering now the focus is moving on to the Premier League, being तुम मानो या ना मानो, but तुम 90-95% लोगों को पूछेगा तो लोग बोलेगा Premier League is the metric and is the league is the best league in the world as of
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah.
So Haaland being there already has the claim that he's in the Premier League doing it in the toughest stage, and he's breaking goal scoring records in the toughest league. So that if it's between Mbappe and Haaland gets that over him. But overall, if you're talking to me as a better player, who will come out as a better player, I still feel Mbappe is the better player for me.
because
But
of
I
his
can see
versatility. Yeah.
Future here and now, if you ask me who's going to end up with more Ballon d'Ors, I think it's going to be Haaland.
Hmm.
Or
Appu?
Mbappe has another advantage over Haaland is
National
Mbappe
team.
plays in France,
In
Yeah.
national team.
in a
advantage.
national team, and
Yeah.
then also
Same
yeah,
like
I take that
Lewandowski.
back. I take that back. I didn't even think about France. Haaland has a disadvantage. He plays in Norway.
Same like Lewandowski.
Exactly.
Yep.
So France has, and France's upcoming team is also fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would change
I
my
think so.
stance. I think
Mbappe will also break the World Cup goal scoring record coming in the coming years.
Yeah, exactly. Because you put Haaland also in that French team, Haaland will also win the World Cup. Like, it's very difficult. Like in Haaland in that case he's a little bit unlucky. Better player, just to conclude, better player overall, Mbappe. Like I always said, overall better player, Messi than Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Technically gifted, Messi than Ronaldo. Same cheese over here. Technically gifted, better player, Mbappe. But Haaland is the
Just-
goal scoring monster. So Mbappe wins more Ballon d'Ors. Mbappe is a more complete player. But it's going to be a good debate. It's going to be a good rivalry to watch.
in the coming
future.
years. Yeah.
Appu.
Appu.
I mean, I won't really present any conclusive answer, but I do feel like Mbappe will get
Musiala.
possible. He's coming up. He's what, 18, 19 now, I think. But anyway, I think Mbappe will generate more mainstream interest because a lot of what he does is flashy, whereas a lot of what Haaland does is underappreciated. Like, because what he does more is off the ball, those small moments inside the box, which is the most difficult areas in which to find space. So in terms of that, I know a lot of people will look at Mbappe and want to be like Mbappe and want to play like Mbappe, but you cannot write off what Haaland does and what he does. Like, how he gets those goals, they
It's
may look
so
like tap-ins.
difficult to score goals.
Exactly. The
Very
movement, the intelligence he shows, all those things, they are severely underrated. And like, those are the kinds of things that strikers should look at as opposed to Mbappe. I mean, you have this.
It's also it also what gets a little bit off Ronaldo compared to Messi as well, because Ronaldo also had that same.
The way he reinvented himself.
Exactly, he was like a fox in the box kind of the thing. The amount of tap-ins and the positioning and all that he scored.
Yes.
Compared to Messi dribbling from the left, having that free roll and scoring those individualistic runs. That's what you're saying. It also brought off Haaland Ronaldo a little bit. So we have to also give these guys the applauded, because to find the box actually is really very small when you have 5 or 6 players defending in that. So to find that space that these guys find and to plus take your chances consecutively, like he said, is so difficult.
Yes, I agree. And like, Mbappe is a freak of nature. Haaland's also a freak of nature, but a lot of what he does goes underappreciated because it's not flashy. It's more fundamental, so to speak.
So give me a definitive answer, Mbappe or Haaland?
I really can't. I think I feel like Mbappe will get more because he just gets more attention than Haaland.
Yeah, no, you actually want to say Musiala, but you
no, actually, right. Musiala is.
But everything steams down to the fact that Mbappe plays in France. A little bit.
Yeah.
But this year also, I think Musiala deserved the Golden Boy rather than
that is
Jude.
True. I have a bit of,
because if you look at the stats, Musiala had better stats and he had trophies also to show.
And he
I
scored
don't think so. Why Jude?
It's just that hype. You didn't answer your question. You don't answer.
I would say Haaland. because I've just seen so much of Haaland. I'll have to accept my bias that I haven't seen too much of Mbappe. But Haaland is just, oh my god! I mean, it puts me, it rejuvenates the football hipster in me. That seeing that number 9 come back. Because we grew up in the ages of fucking Edison Cavani and Luis Suarez. I love both.
Suarez
of them.
is a different player though.
So, no, but as in like the
Uruguay
national team.
the two up front.
the two strikers,
two-man
the
strikers.
4-4-2.
And also Suarez would lead the line a lot of times.
Yeah. So, but like having that very
traditional poacher, that poacher, right? Which I would say Harry Kane also does it very well, but Harry Kane is a more well-rounded player. Game coming and stuff like that.
So
but that exact poacher.
But that exact poacher, I think, as you said, it's very difficult to do. I think Haaland is also really, I would say, a freak of nature. I've seen him perform so many times. I've captained him in FPL so many times. Regret it this weekend, but we'll take the L's with the W's. Yeah, should have gotten Doku in, but well, it's fine.
Yes.
So I would say Haaland.
Okay.
चलो अभी बस करते हैं बातें.
भाई इंडिया का क्या हुआ यार?
चालू है, देखना पड़ेगा भाई.
क्या हो गया भाई इंडिया का?
Okay, thanks.
We'll sign out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you around. Like, share, subscribe, all of that.
Next we are up for the
Musiala. Why Musiala?
Yeah, why Musiala didn't deserve
more
the Golden
heated
Boy.
debates in Uncensored.
And Appu will speak for 1 hour straight.
Yeah, lot of things to talk about.
Yeah,
hopefully
lot
next
of
week
things.
if we get the right people in.
Yeah.
Yeah, चलो यार इंडिया का गेम देखने जाते हैं.
Okay.
यार प्रोड्यूसर.
Bye bye. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Okay.